I've never met a more frustrating team in my life than watching the Flyers over the past few nights. It's complete night and day from the way they're playing, night in and night out. You had an important 3 game stretch against the Penguins. You lose 2 out of those 3. You come into an important game at home with the Washington Capitals, and you fall in this one. You let the game slip away because you look like a completely different team the rest of the game. And that's how the similarity that I see in the past stretch of games. Where the Flyers, they completely outtake the opposition. They're getting their chances, they're finishing, they're generating chances in the offensive zone, they're playing to their game. And then there's other instances where they're completely getting hampered in their own zone. The opposition, they find ways to make the Flyers uncomfortable. The Flyers can't handle the forecheck, and the Flyers make way too many mental mistakes. And this game was a complete replica of the previous 3. The previous 3. It was just the complete same. The first period, the Flyers had them dead the rights. They were dominating them, forcing turnovers, getting in on the forecheck, and they scored the first goal. You go into the intermission up 1-0. And then the rest of the game, both teams look completely different. The Capitals and the Flyers. Capitals dominate the Flyers the rest of the game. The Flyers got their chances, yeah, but they were making way too many mental mistakes. They couldn't finish on their chances that they were getting. Yes, Ilya Samsonov, he played fantastic for Washington. Carter Hart, I don't blame at all in this game. He had no help. You can question the third goal, maybe, but if you look at that third goal, it was a 4-on-3 because you got 3 other guys on the back of the ice doing a little scramble with each other. And the other 2 goals, they were just cross creases with guys not getting their matchup and leaving guys wide open. Hart has no chance on those, especially only one from Ovechkin. Getting no help. And just, I've never seen a power play that is the Achilles heel of a team. Oh my god, our power play sucks. I keep bringing that up episode after episode, but it does. For some reason, we lose momentum when we get a power play. Just don't understand it. I just don't understand how we lose momentum when we go on the power play 0 for 4 once again, and hit the Flyers are 4 for their last 30-something on the power play. It's not good. It's not good whatsoever. They're not getting anything. And special teams have been a major issue for the Flyers this entire season. And just, like I said, the Flyers had so many chances in this game, especially in the second period, to put more goals on the board and increase their lead. But they falter on those opportunities, and they continue to make mistakes, and they continue to make those mistakes and allowed Washington to score their goals. And just going through the first period in general, Wells Fargo Center, your first home game with fans in the stands, everyone's pumped. Everyone gets to see the Flyers in person for a long time in a while. And like I said, the Flyers took advantage of that. They got their little spark and they dominated in the first period. They did. Flyers getting chances back and forth. They were getting pucks onto the net. Flyers got a power play too. They didn't score on that, of course. But then you get halfway through the period, get the first line out there once again. Sean Couturier forcing a turnover. Turns into a 2-on-1 for Joel Farabee and James Van Riemsdyk. Joel Farabee comes up on the right side, puts it 5-0 right through Samsonov. It's a 1-0 lead. And credit for Joel Farabee, all of his goals this season, all 11 of them, are at even strength. And I think that's up tops with some of the top guys in the league and even strength goals. I think Austin Matthews is in the competition there. There's a lot of big names up there, and Joel Farabee is one of those guys. He's becoming a stud, and that first line's still playing absolutely incredible. It is. That's still one of the positives that I can draw from these games is that first line. They're still generating so many chances. And like I said, the first period was still really good. And we get the stupid goaltender interference penalty. I have no idea what the refs were thinking of this. So, Konechny, he's driving the net, he's making a hockey play. Doesn't touch the goaltender, but 2 Capitals guys come on him and push him into Samsonov. So, yeah, that's goaltender interference on Travis Konechny, huh? What? And the Caps go on the power play from that, and it looked like they drawed a little bit of momentum as well, coming off of that power play. So, yeah, the refs kind of screwed the Flyers in the rest so many minutes of that period. But you still go up 1-0 in that period. You go into the intermission. And then completely different outlook in the second period. Caps come out hot. They have their game. We're making way too many turnovers, especially in the first 5 minutes. It was turnover, 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 turnover. Can't get the puck out of our own zone. Turnover in the neutral zone. Turnover in the offensive zone. Can't get the puck in deep. Capitals getting so many chances. You got Ovi getting so many chances in the early stages to halfway through this period. He was getting a lot. And the Capitals were getting a lot. And the Flyers, they actually got a power play in this period as well. Didn't take that long because JVR tripped the guy right on the face-off right after. But then the Capitals, once again, took another penalty. And we go in the 4-on-3. And in this spurt of everything, so I think this was during the power play as well. So you get, after one of the Capitals penalties ends, you got Char coming out of the box, and 2-on-1 for the Capitals. This was like just as the 4-on-4 was ending, I think. So you get these two schmucks coming up the ice for a 2-on-1. Char rips one. Hart makes the save. And then you get the Flyers going up the other end of the ice when it's a literal 3-on-1, I think. You got Kevin Hayes, Scott Law, and I think it was Travis Konecny involved as well. And nothing. No, wait, actually, I think this 3-on-1 was actually later in the period. This was a 2-on-0 with Farabee and Konecny, and Konecny just somehow didn't hit the net. He just didn't hit the net. And then you get later in the period when you get the 3-on-1 with Lawton, Hayes, and Konecny, and they're literally just, I have no idea what they're doing with the puck here. No idea. Just make the pass. One-time it. Don't do these fancy have to get back and forth, and then you don't get a shot off. Get the puck on the net. If you make the one little pass, rip it. Because the Flyers in the past so many games have had that first shot mentality. Or the shot first mentality. Some points in this game they didn't. Especially on the odd man rushes. Even though Konecny, he shot the puck on that little bit of a break with him and Farabee. You gotta finish. You have to finish. You gotta hit the puck into the net. You can't miss. And the same thing on this 3-on-1. You gotta shoot. Shoot the damn thing. And you have the fans in the arena shouting, shoot! Do it! It's amazing how they falter on so many of these odd man breaks. And then not scoring on these odd man breaks gives a chance for Washington near the end of the period. They go up the ice. And then you get Carlson. They actually get Oshie faking out a couple of our players. He faked out Butterman. And he gets Sanheim falling on his ass for some odd reason. And then he makes a nice crossfeed to Ovechkin, who is wide open because we have so many guys falling on themselves, and he bears it by Ihart, and it's a 1-1 game. And then second goal is what really bothers me as well. Flyers ice the puck with I think it was around 25 seconds left. They ice the puck. They don't win the faceoff. Then you get John Carlson feeding it over to Dmitry Orlov, who was wide open. Joel Farabee missing his man. Orlov is wide open, puts it 5-0 right through Hart. It's 2-1 going into the period. Another ball buster type of goal at the end of the period, similar to what happened yesterday against the Penguins when Zach Aston Reed scored that goal on Elliott at the end of the second. Another ball buster type of goal. Now the Caps are up 2-1 going into the third period instead of being tied 1-1. And you would think the Flyers would need to find a way to get that extra jump to find a way to tie this damn thing. But they continue to falter on their plays. They do get a power play in this third period. They can't score on it. They just can't. And then, once again, way too many mistakes. And you get a little bit of a scramble with Chara, Farabee, and JVR. And you got a 4-on-3 going up the ice for the Capitals. And then you got Nick Backstrom and Oshie feeding it over to Nick Jensen, who is literally wide open with Ovechkin, and he buries it by Carter Hart. Nick Jensen, who hasn't scored a damn goal in 2 years. Yeah, that's typical Flyers script written right there. Allowing a goal to a guy that hasn't scored in 20 million years. Typical Flyers, I guess. And all that started because you have the scrum between Chara, JVR, and Farabee on the other side of the ice. I'm surprised there wasn't a whistle called. I'm surprised there wasn't a penalty called. And yeah, the refs were not the best in this game. They definitely weren't. A lot of really questionable calls, especially on the one goaltender interference, but the Flyers got to be better. And the Flyers, they had their chances with the open net to set up stuff. They pulled the goalie, I think, around 4 minutes left in the game. And the Flyers, once again, I've seen the worst possible trying to set up the score goal to even get back into this game with an empty net. Thank God for Shane Gostisbehere playing the goaltender once again, because he stopped a lot of empty net goals by the Capitals. And the Flyers, they did have their chances with the extra attacker. They did. Samsonov was making the saves, and when the Flyers were actually getting more chances in this game, even Voracek had a couple of chances in this game on a wraparound. They couldn't bury it. Samsonov was making the big saves for the Capitals. He was. He definitely was. But there were a lot more chances that I feel like the Flyers had a lot better if they would have actually finished. Because I feel like they passed up on a lot of opportunities. Connecting, missing the wide open net. The 3-on-1. Not being able to bury it on the power play, go over 4 once again. Gotta be better. You have to be way better. And yesterday's game was so important. It was so important because you had the back-to-back. Both of these teams are traveling. Caps are traveling. Flyers are traveling. Both of these teams were going to be tired going into this game. That's why yesterday was so important. To get 2 points. You had a chance to win yesterday, and you didn't. And now, this game meant much more because you had to win this game. And once again, you let the game slip away. Because you falter in the second and third period, and you make so many mental mistakes, and you cannot finish on your chances. You just couldn't. And now the Flyers have lost 3 out of the last 4 games. And I think the Penguins are currently beating the Rangers, who I think they are playing right now. Let me check that out real quickly. That game, yeah, the Penguins are beating them 4-1 in the third period. And if the Flyers will fall into 5th place in the Eastern Division after today's game when the Penguins win. So, yeah, losing 3 out of 4 sucks. It really does. I think the Flyers in their last 10 are 4-5-1. So they haven't been playing their best hockey. I know some guys were just coming back off of COVID. I know they played 6 games in 9 days. So, yeah, there's definitely some type of tiredness going on with the team, even though I don't use exhaustion as an excuse because it isn't an excuse, and the players won't use the same thing either. But the Flyers had opportunities to get some wins and gain some traction in the standings, and they haven't done it. They just haven't done it. You lost 2 out of 3 to Pittsburgh. You lost this first game out of an important stretch with the Capitals. Now you got Buffalo on Tuesday, and Buffalo was a dumpster fire. They just lost 3 straight to the Islanders. You gotta beat this team. You have to beat Buffalo. I know they're definitely going to be a little bit pissed because you shut them out twice, but you got to beat Buffalo. You have to beat Buffalo on Tuesday. Because then you'll have to finish out the weekend against the Capitals. Yeah, it's still another really tough stretch for this team. And yeah, I still believe that they need something. They're still missing something. Yeah, they played 6 games in 9 days, so yeah, exhaustion is probably a factor into the play. But it's not an excuse. They're still making the same mistakes. They need to finish. They can't be turning the puck over 20 million times in their own zone. They need some guy, a top 4 defenseman, to come in and settle things down. Because there are still way too many moments when these guys look lost. And when they leave hard out to dry, like they did in today's game. It can't keep happening. I know we're only, 20-something games into the season, but it's a 56-game season, and we're almost at the halfway point, too. We are. Really close to the halfway point. We can't be coughing up points like this. Every game is a 4-point game, especially when you're playing teams in your own division. Got these big games against the Capitals, you couldn't do it against the Penguins. And the Penguins are riding a little bit of a hot streak right now. So you got to get wins against the Capitals. You got to get wins against the Buffalo Sabres on Tuesday. And then, if you look at the rest of the schedule, and honestly, I'm really curious of the other teams the Flyers are playing. Let me pull up the schedule right now. So you got, Buffalo Tuesday, Caps Thursday, and Saturday. Then next week you got 2 Rangers, 2 Islanders. The following week, the fourth week of March, actually. Got the Islanders, Devils, Rangers twice, and then you'll close it out at the end of the month against Buffalo twice. The schedule's just not going to get any easier. You're going to be facing the Islanders a lot more. You're facing the Caps a lot more. You're facing the Rangers a lot more. I think Buffalo, it should be a gimme just because of how much of bad that team is. But you're going to be playing the Penguins a lot more. You're going to be playing Boston a lot more. The Islanders, the Capitals. You got to get wins. You have to get wins. And you cannot falter in games like that. Maybe it's a little bit of a benefit they're going on this little stretch right now. So maybe they can find a way to get out of it in the next few games. But they need to win. They need to win games. And they can't be playing like this. yeah, like I said, I know exhaustion, fatigue might be settling in because you played 6 games in 9 days and you're having guys coming off of the COVID list. Gotta find a way to pick up the pace. We gotta. And like I said, I still think they're missing something. They're still missing a defenseman. So, who knows what's going to happen. I'm really not expecting anything to happen in this week or anything like that. I feel like majority of those moves are going to be closer towards the trade deadline or something like that. You never know what Chuck Fletcher is going to do. But, got an important week of hockey still. Really important week. Buffalo, Washington twice once again. So, gotta find a way to get points. And it's crucial right now. Actually, let me look at the standings. I'm curious at the standings because I know with Pittsburgh going to be winning today, the Flyers are going to fall to 5th. Yeah, the Flyers are currently 12-7-3 with 22 games played. I think the only thing that the Flyers benefit, they still have a lot of games in hand on these teams from their COVID break. So, actually, the Flyers in their last 10, they're 5-4-1. So I got the numbers mixed up a little bit. But still, got to get wins. And with this loss today, Pittsburgh winning most likely. Pittsburgh's going to jump into 4th place. We're going to jump into 5th place. So, like I said, I think the one thing that's still Flyers benefit still, they have a lot of games in hand on these teams. And yeah, still, granted, it's 22 games into the season. Still granted that. But, like I said, maybe it's also a good thing that they're starting to lose a little bit. To where they can find a way to pick up the pace going into the important stretch of the season. But, you got to get wins. You got to get points against win the games that matter. Especially Tuesday, and especially this week. You got to get wins. So, what are your guys' thoughts on tonight's game? Your thoughts on tonight's Flyers loss? Don't forget to leave your comments down in the comment section below. And don't forget to check out the Painted Lions. Their link will be in the description below. Don't forget to check out the Fired Up Podcast merchandise website. That link will also be in the description below. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you next time.